I was struggling with full-time employment, homeschooling, while rebuilding my life after burnout. My name is Vienna Maya, and welcome to the Boswell channel. This is the place where I am going to share with you a mixture of the journey that I've had as a social impact entrepreneur, burning out of that and starting again from scratch. And at the same time, how I'm starting again smarter so that I do not burn out again. And I also want to share the story for other people who are either beginning their journey as entrepreneurs, who might be going through the same things as I am in terms of starting again. You might be at the very beginning of your burnout journey. You might have recovered from the eye of the storm and you're just in where I am right now is the physical recovery. My mindset is in a wonderful place compared to where I was a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm reflecting a lot. I'm thinking, how did I do all of that? But that's not the purpose of this video today. This video today, I've got my notes because I'm a chatter, which is why I have a chit chat playlist, because I do like to chat. But this one, I really wanted to just take a moment to pause. I created something amazing. I'm really enjoying learning AI and maximizing it to how I want to move forward in my life. And part of that is looking at how can I manage my everyday. And my everyday right now is I work full time, Monday to Friday. I'm a mentor, which means my time is filled up with some days it's back to back with mentoring, other days it's admin. And in between that, I'm also homeschooling my daughter, who is in her second year of secondary school. And that's a crucial year. This is the year where she's in her discovery, deciding what she wants to do. And this is when it hit me. During the Easter holiday, I was creating a couple of tools for my Boswell. And I paused and I thought, right, before we go back to work and back to school, what can I do to make life a little bit easier and smoother? I mean, there's tools out there that we can use. I looked at different tools and most of it, there are lots of really good stuff, but they're very techy, very cool. A lot of it just didn't suit our life, our home. So I said to my daughter, do you want me to build you an app? Because, I'm feeling confident with my AI skills. And she said, yes, build me an app. And then I forgot the daughter that I have. She said, yes. And then she says, if you build me an app, can you have this and that and whatever else shiny that she wanted? She wanted the app to look like a poster that she made for herself. So she's got a lovely timetable poster in her room that gives her clear guide in terms of what she's going to do throughout the day. Now, the problem, if you are a parent, you'll understand this, is that when you're homeschooling and if you're not able to fund all of these lovely homeschool academies, they're great. However, when you're having to put everything together, create your child's homeschooling, it just means that you have logins here, you have videos there, you have paperwork here, you have all sorts of things all over the place. So what I envisioned in my head was I wanted a hub where everything that she needed was in one place. And also as parents, we were able to track her learning, support her well, and see where she was really, really strong and where she was struggling, and then how to put in the resources she needed to help her. So that was the vision. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the 3 steps we took before we got to the hub that we have now. And I also decided to put all of these steps together for you. So if you're thinking about creating your own homeschool hub and you don't know where to start, I have a guide that you can download and it's going to help you with getting that first point to get that aha moment. And I will record some extra resources around that. So let me know in the comments any questions that you may have in terms of how to build your own hub or tool to help you function, as a family and get your kids involved. But let me show you what the hub looks like. And then we are going to talk some more. Okay. So when I started, this was the first hub that I created. So I went on to Claude, my new favorite baby, and the app actually started when Claude popped up and said, "Do you want to create a quiz?" I thought, "Oh yeah, that'd be great. Let me create a quiz for my daughter." I created a quiz and I thought, "Oh, let me see if I can turn this quiz into a tutorial." And that's when the hub started to get into my head. So the hub that I created, just a basic hub, I took a picture of her timetable, put it up into Claude, and Claude created me this. So this is what her timetable actually looked like on paper. This is what Claude created for her. Now, as you can see, it's great. You know, she can click on the tabs that are live and it will take her to a lesson. Now, to get the lesson, this is a suggestion that I'll make for you as a parent, to make sure that the information comes out not just generic, but is actually focused to what your child need. You have to be specific in what you prompt Claude or ChatGPT to do. You can create something probably similar with ChatGPT as well. But I find when it comes to creating HTML or apps, Claude is superior to Chat. Now, I know Chat's updated, so I'm going to go check it again soon. But right now, Claude and but when you're wanting to create lessons for your children using Claude or Chat, make sure to feed some clear prompts in here. Was my daughter's year. So she's studying year 8, but in some things she's advancing towards year 9. So I wanted a mixture of year 8 to year 9. It created me year 9 first because I wasn't too clear. It thought that I just wanted year 9. So this one is just focused on year 9. I also uploaded the year 9 curriculum guide from a government site. So go and look for official accredited information to upload onto Claude or ChatGPT. And from there, I gave it other instructions to generate a lesson plan via a read, watch, and activities. So the activities that I gave here was that after she read, we obviously created a sort of like a mini test to put things in order, to sort out the card, and then it will give her some answers. And I also asked it to include some written bits for it to then mark itself. So I generated it so that AI was supporting and helping as much as possible. And then this was the quiz. The quiz is really basic, but again, with Claude, you can edit it to the style that you wanted. So this was the first basic app homeschool hub that I created for my daughter, and it was great. So on the Sunday, just me downloading my brain, my idea, it created me this. But then I took the chat and I went on to Claude Design. This one that was on the day when Claude Design had come out, and I thought, ooh, coming from a background of interactive design, that was the degree I got in 2020 while I was running my business. And obviously, being part of the COVID response, COVID recovery, I graduated, but I didn't really do much with my degree. So I'm bringing some of that knowledge into design, which I love. It just means that I can create content quickly for my daughter that I don't have to worry about coding behind the scene. So this is the one that I created on design, and in the Claude Design, I was able to be a bit even more specific in terms of saying that she's in year 8 working towards year 9. And then I wanted to gamify it. My daughter loved Duolingo, but she doesn't like the blackmailing side of Duolingo. So I added this, she should get 20 extra points if she completes her assignment, the number of days that she was studying, or the number of days that she was engaged with the app, and then on her timetable. So it's still live. I'm recording this on a Monday, and it's still live to her timetable now. She's biology, music, geography, and music. So we'll go back here, chemistry. But you can see it's good, but it's still very much a basic platform. What I did add for my daughter was the Ask AI. Now, the Ask AI is an AI buddy. AI tutor. And again, when I created this, I was very specific to what the AI study buddy would do. So for example, because today is, so if I click on history, it will study history. So if I ask, tell me about music, it will be thinking away, and then it'll give me a little prompt here. It'll say, good question. Music is, so you can see that the AI study buddy is very intuitive to what's on the platform. And the AI study buddy works so much better on the Claude version than it does on the other version that I'm using now. Mainly because, again, with Claude, I just find that it's a little bit more specific with its search and what it presents in front of here. So you can add these little things for your children if you haven't got time to sit down and work with them. So that's what I did with Claude Design. Now, I sat with it, me being me, I just love finding new ways, especially for myself as a neurodivergent mum with dyslexia. I know what it's like to just consume reading a lot and just having to read again and again. And my daughter, what I did to make sure that I created an app that me and her dad loved, but something that she would also use. I sat down and interviewed her like a client. I asked her what she wanted. We went through. She gave me her specification. I asked her what she didn't want in the app. So, for example, I asked her if she wanted some AI voices in it, AI tutors, or does she just prefer writing? I asked her if she needs to practice her speaking skills, communication. I asked her if she wanted to record it or she preferred to just practice that with me or with her dad. She preferred to practice that with me or her dad. And so that then led me to my other favorite app that helped me turn these lovely ideas, the Claude apps, HTML, into this. This is the final working homeschool hub that we have for my daughter. Now, this is a full, remember that I'm using my web development skills to instruct AI to create me something that would have taken me months if I was to create it myself, even years if I was to create this myself. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes to have a look at this beautiful, beautiful app. I am in love with this app. We are in love with this app. And I have to say, I'm super proud of myself. We celebrate all our wins, okay? And this one is one worth celebrating. Now, the first thing was my daughter wanted black background. She wanted black background and colors. And based on her design, the AI tool, Lovable, using the instruction that I asked Claude to create for me, it created her favorite animal, and the reading cow. So she wanted a black background and with pastel colors, and it was perfect. And also, we're very much about mindful start to the day. So we include things like walking. So my daughter and I, we do our walks in the morning. So that way we can start our day nice and fresh as a way for us to stay connected. She likes to read in the morning. I'm trying to get her to log her reading so that she can, one, it keeps her motivated with reading, but it also gets me to see what she's reading and I can encourage and inspire her with other books as well. There's a retrieve. This is just something that I can add based on what she's learning. So I can add a new or, bulk upload some new retrieves, which are great for her to just, test where she can actually write the answers rather than just clicking and revealing the answers. The reason I had it clicking and revealing was because the retrieve is something that she can do with me, where she's telling me, she gives me the answers and we reveal together. But if I'm not around, it'll be good for her to type it and then see how she's learning there. So retrieve has all of these things, which is great. Now, the way that I designed this, as you can see, it says Angela read only, and then you go back to control room. I've designed it so that as parents, we can have a view of her overview of her day. And in that way, we can see what she's working towards. We can see what she's done. So as you can see with the ticks, this is what she did today. And then it marks it off here, all done. The homework that she has set for this week, what she's going to work on. And then I have a little note that I give her. I've also created her something which I really, really love is I've created her own career campus. So using my background as a career guidance, as a mentor, my work was around supporting people to progress in their career and looking at different ways that they can progress. And this is what I put into my daughter's platform is to have an awareness of what she needs to learn, but to also have an awareness of what she wants for her future now. It could change later on, but right now, what interested in, and then how can I support her? So create a career campus, which I'll show you a little bit. I'll show you in the other version. I'll keep because this is her own personal thing. But creating her career campus, which includes her careers, includes her IGCSE when she gets in to do it, includes recommendations that we can put in, her wins so she can see what she's done. So you can see since I created this app last week, she's logged 17 wins already, which is mostly doing her learning, doing some of her homework that we can mark. So we only get to see an overview and we can't change stuff on her space. But the parents, we have the control room, and the control room is where we as parents can track. So for example, she has homework waiting for us. As you can see, she's got homework. And the way that I coded the homework was that anything that I set as a homework is 2 weeks due. Anything that she sets, for example, if she misses a lesson, she can choose. Let me go back so I can show you that. If she misses a lesson, she can choose. If we go, let's go to English. Oh, this is actually my favorite bit. I really love this bit. Now, this bit, I added some extra tools in here just to help her with her focus and also to make sure that she's not on the screen all the time. I added a focus timer. So when she's on reading and watching, she puts the timer on. She can pause the timer, but she puts the timer on. If she's done 25 minutes, she can have a little break. I've also added, again, as I said, to make sure that she's getting the support that she needs if I'm not able to answer a question because I'm on call. I've added an AI buddy that she can ask based on the lesson that she's in. I've added a AI voice tutor that she can call and she can ask questions based on her subject. I made sure that she knows what her task is for the day and it changes here. And as a parent, if I look at this and I think, oh, we can create something else, I've coded in that you can either pick your own resources, I can pick my resources, or I can let AI draft me a lesson for this topic and subject. And then these are some of the recommendations for reading. Now, to make sure that content was quality, I was very specific in the where to get the content from, making sure that it's quality so that I was still able to verify as well, and making sure that the AI would always give me a link to the resources. So I was aware of what resource we were seeing. Okay, let's go back in now. So yeah, and then if you prefer, you can see it, have a lighter version of the app as well. I'll show you this. So this I really, really love, where you as a parent can map, plan. So we have subjects, all the subjects doing, it can be toggled, and then information on how this connects to the control room. The timetable where if you click on, you can change what's on the timetable. So for example, if you wanted to swap for science, we can swap for science. And then if you wanted to swap the time, we can swap the time, etc. and include links and resources to what they're going to study. Okay. The materials, this is where you build lessons. So if you were to use this platform, you can modify the content. So what I've created like a template that, all the learners will have the timetable template. But then as a parent, you can modify it. You can reduce the subjects, you can add subjects, change it. Because it's homeschooling, you can make it what you want it. And the material section, this is where you add your own material and you can turn it into a lesson. So for example, I've got a lesson here. I uploaded a sewing AI to draft me a lesson that I can upload. And she's working away. And this is the lesson that it's giving me here. And for the lesson to be set, I then log in the date and it will change whichever lesson that's already on the calendar. Read through the content, do you like what it says? Do we want this? Let's get rid of this. We'll prefer this one. So pick one or the activities so you don't have all of them. And then you save the lesson and the lesson is updated. So that's the little bit behind the scenes of building this app. My journey, I built the first app on a Sunday, just put something together. She wasn't going to start at school on a Monday because obviously we're following so Sunday, built Monday, I was already tweaking it and thinking about what do I need to do. I've been playing around with the Lovable app and creating other resources for Boswell, which I will share soon. But I needed to pause because I couldn't focus on anything else. The most important part right now is making sure that my daughter has a good education and she's really loving it. I'll show you some behind the scenes of her. I mean, she's absolutely just zoned in. And the way that I've created the app is respecting that she's not a big fan of technology, is that her activities are a mixture of watch, which are really short, and then do, where she can do practical activities. And then I'm going to add other materials such as, the year 9 study guide, revision guides, etc. Log that into the timetable. But the most important part is now we have a tool where myself and her dad, we can both see what she's doing. We can mark it, we can comment it, we can invite friends and family. We've got lots of friends who are super, super smart. We can invite them on her journey and they can support with that, with either adding learning materials, feedback, etc. And she's really loving it. And for me, this last week or two has been great. I've been able to focus on my work and know that she's on top of her learning. And if she needs anything, she can ask her AI buddy, and that response stays on the platform. However, I can read the response and override it with an extended answer, or, so we're still very much aware of safety when it comes to AI and making sure that she knows that AI doesn't have all the answers. Prior to building this app and to her having this hub app, I made sure that at the beginning of the year, she did a foundation to AI on Coursera. So she had an understanding of AI, what it is. She created me a fantastic presentation on the different types of AI tools, AI apps, AI resources out there so that she has an understanding. Again, the way that I'm teaching her is about her having her independence. So thank you so much for listening. Things that we can create, especially if you put your mind to the useful things that you can create that allows you time, and it also supports you and your family to function. If you are interested in having your own hub and you don't know where to start, I've created this guide here, Build It with AI. It's going to go up on my Stand store. If you as a parent are looking for something, not just parents, anyone. So I've put my prompts in here. And I've also included bonus prompts. So the conversation to have with your children in here. the conversation to have with your children, the prompt library, and Friday weekly review that you could do with your child to help them on their journey. And yeah, it's all in here for you to build for yourself. How are you using AI? But I want to share the different AI tools I'm using right now, but I'm staying focused because there's a lot of noise out there. So that's next to come. But let me know in the comment what you thought of